Hello Gemini, this is your tarot reading for Valentine's Day, but it's also a reading for the next few weeks. Any predictions about what's going to happen after Valentine's Day? So it's good to be back. I know I've been gone for a while. I'm going to cut the cards and get started with the reading. My traditional spread, 3 cards for the past, 3 for the present, 3 for the future, and then 1 card for the outcome. First card is a 4 of Wands. I have the Sun. And I have Strength. The next set of cards I have, you have the World. So you're getting a lot of strong major arcana. Those are very important cards because they mean big change. This is a 3 of Cups. I have the Ace of Swords. That's your present. Last 3 cards. I have the High Priestess. I have the Shadow Side. And I have a Page of Swords. Okay. And I'm kind of looking like, oh, wow. Very positive cards. But then we have this Shadow Side popping up here. I'm like, well, what's that all about? Okay, well, we'll find out. So, let me look at your major arcana cards, because 1 out of the 9 cards you have, 5 are major arcana. So, the energy for your romantic energy and your relationship, big shifts and big changes. And what that means when I say big shifts and big changes is the fact that whatever is going to be happening in the next few weeks about your relationships, it's things are not going to definitely not be the same afterwards. And so when I say not be the same, I mean like your life is definitely heading towards a new, not necessarily a new chapter, but there's going to be an event or an issue that's going to come up that is going to put you on a new path in the relationship. It's going to change the relationship in a good or bad way, but it is going to be a big change. So that's what those 5 major arcana cards mean. So you have the Sun and Strength, and these 2 are very good, especially in the past, because it means optimism and happiness. And Strength, it also means inner strength. You have the infinity symbol up here, so within, so without. And so, with this 4 of Wands, which is the card of celebration and happiness, I'm getting a sense that the energies coming into the month of February were very positive or very happy, or at the very least, very hopeful. So when we come here to the present, what I'm seeing here is the World, and this is always a signal that you're ending a new chapter and beginning a new one. So some of you Geminis, maybe you've met someone new. You're very optimistic, and I almost get a sense, because of these positive cards with the Sun and the World and Strength, like it's a dream relationship. You can't believe this has happened to you. This sense of it's too good to be true. And so that's why you need to be a little cautious in the next few weeks, because you do have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about understanding the mysteries, understanding things that are not obvious. and trusting your intuition, trusting your subconscious. If something doesn't feel right, you need to listen to that feeling. And so that's when we head into the shadow side, which means sometimes it can mean addiction. Sometimes, in the worst case scenario for a relationship, it can mean abuse, lying, cheating. But I kind of feel that the shadow side is sort of like a warning that things are never too good to be true. There will always be obstacles that come up that will challenge you, that will make you, it's going to be a test to see how strong you are. And that's kind of what I feel about you, Gemini. Keep in mind you are an air sign, and that's represented by swords. And so I do get a sense that these swords are speaking towards this cautious optimism and then running into obstacles. And you're going to need that swords energy. You're going to need the element of air to make the right judgments, not let your anxiety get the best of you. So this is very important because the Ace of Swords is about clarity, and the Page of Swords is about addressing falsehoods, gossip, lies, getting to the truth, and it's also about being fearless. So even just looking at your major arcana cards and a couple of the swords, I get the feeling the Oracle is warning you that yes, things might be going well. You might be feeling euphoric about the relationship, but there will be a challenge, there will be a test, there will be a roadblock that you will need to address. And it's definitely telling you to pay attention to the messages from your spirit guide and your subconscious or your intuition. Pay attention to that, because I definitely feel like there's a bumpy road up ahead. So I kind of did most of the reading already, but just again, going back to the past, I'm very optimistic. So this Four of Wands, it is about celebration and happiness. Sometimes it can actually mean a surprise event, like an engagement. So some of you might be getting an engagement this Valentine's Day, or you're already engaged. And so being happy and euphoric, that's perfectly understandable. When we come here to the present, so this is where you are right now, things are shifting. Again, the world means starting a new chapter, beginning again, starting a new lesson. The Three of Cups is here in the middle. And this is important because this is also a card about happiness and celebration. And sometimes in a romantic reading, it can mean an engagement. Usually with a Two of Cups, that means marriage. When you get to a Three of Cups, it means love among friends, but it can also mean an engagement. And then when you get to the Two of Cups, when you go from 3 to 2, then yes, it definitely means an emotional commitment. So when we get here to the Ace of Swords, this is when truth and clarity comes in. And again, Gemini, because you're an air sign, you're very analytical. And so this is important because I think for some of you, this Ace of Swords means that maybe you're coming down from that euphoria and you're kind of thinking, okay, I just want to make sure, I want to be secure that this relationship is going to work out. So as you can see, once you get here to the future, the next 6 to 8 weeks, then yes, your subconscious is definitely going to start kicking in. Sometimes I feel like for you, Gemini, the shadow side is your worst fears coming true. You're very anxious about getting hurt and someone letting you down. And so that Page of Swords, I kind of see it as you needing reassurance. You trying to make sure that if your partner's acting funny, if your partner isn't, communicating with you, If you're starting to suspect that maybe your partner is backing out of the relationship, that Page of Swords is a signal that you might need to have a conversation. And so all of the happiness and euphoria, yes, it's good. It's nice to have a good feeling about a relationship. But any relationship has to deal with reality, and you have to be willing to address those problems head on and not say, oh, it'll get better later. You can't brush it, you can't push it under the rug and try to ignore it. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle for the outcome card, and let's see what the Oracle has to say as a final word. And you have a Seven of Cups. Now this is a card of emotional choices. You see the Magician, and he's pointing his finger at you. He's pointing his hand at you as if it were a wand, because you have to make an emotional choice. You can't be so afraid and insecure and afraid of getting hurt that you avoid making an emotional decision. And sometimes it can mean procrastination, and sometimes it can mean a lack of commitment. And so in the big picture, because I know all you Geminis are going through different situations romantically, the Seven of Cups simply means that there's going to be an emotional stalling. Like, oh, okay, let me make sure we're on the right track emotionally, that we're on the same page. At the most, it definitely can mean working through commitment issues, that maybe if things are getting so serious, you just need to take an emotional time out to make sure that you and your partner are really ready to emotionally commit. But as I said, most air signs are very, very anxious and over analytical. I'm a Libra, so I definitely get that. And so this is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you have to take in account, where's this relationship going? You have to answer, you and your partner have to discuss the tough questions and have a sit down to resolve these fears and issues. Okay. So that was your reading. And my tarot specials, usually my 15-minute phone readings, they are $20. For the next few weeks through February and March, they'll be $10. So go to tarotbyaire.com and make your appointment. And if you're a new person, a new subscriber, I cannot wait to read for you. And also reconnect with some of you who are my regular customers. I do miss you. I'm sorry I was away for a while. So I'm in the process of reconnecting for the next few weeks. But thank you so much for your support. And as always, I wish you love and light.